Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Work Your Light. My name is Patricia. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. So, I just came from outside. So I was outside with my best friend, and we have been, I'm living in an area which is like pretty much like in the forest, and we have fields on the other side, and like is like a lot of nature around me. Okay, it's really not city, it's more like, well, villagey kind of style. Okay, so yeah, we've been outside and we've been seriously enjoying the weather. It was awesome, grounding ourselves, having some deep conversations about love, about relationships, about our own still hidden belief system. So for example, I was sitting with her, and actually everything was okay. I was pretty aware of these things that are going on in my life currently, certain areas of my life which are still under construction, I would say. So I was sitting, and then I was pretty clear about like what is going on. And then suddenly I really felt like internally some sort of like I couldn't sit quiet. Like I really felt there is something that wants to come up. There is some movement that wants to happen. And whilst I was like in my thoughts about it, like, damn, where does this come from? I mean, like, I'm pretty aware about like the stuff that is going on. I've been checking on. Nothing really resonated with the feeling that I had inside, like this restlessness. And suddenly she started talking, and she said like, yeah, sometimes it is really strange to have so much time for ourselves. And the thing is, I didn't tell her about my thoughts, and she didn't know about this feeling that was coming up. And she suddenly said, and it was like damn, yeah, that's the point. The thing is, like, my life has been like for the past 21 years a very structured life. I do have 4 kids, so of course it's a very structured life. If I would like to have a reference to to astrology, I do have a Capricorn moon. Okay, so there is a lot of structure like going on, schedules and being right on time, and like a lot of mental stuff going on. And this was like the first time since, if not days, then it's weeks, that I really had time. I really took my time, and I had like no time pressure at all. And that seriously freaked me out. But in the moment she talked about it, I knew that this was for me. And it 100% resonated with this feeling that I had in my gut, This like, why you're not busy? Why you're not doing this? Why you're not with your kids? Why you're chilling over here? Why there are people that do feel bad because of you? And then like, these thought processes are going on. I really wanna put out like my human self, in order for you to see like, okay, there's other people that have stuff going on. But the point is that I was sitting there in the grass, and I was like, well, I've been going through all of these scenarios like oftentimes, and I came to the same conclusion that it's not my fault. It's not my fault, because what we are evolving is like, what we are growing away from is finger pointing. And this is not only towards others, this is also towards ourselves. And now they bring me to the topic of gossiping, um, like what I found is people are kind of very easy like to trigger these days, like with minor stuff, you know. I mean, for them it's major, so everything is a perspective, of course, but they're being triggered pretty easy. This is really what I found. And I understood them. You know, all of this is in regards to confidence, in regards to self-worth. Okay? I mean, like, people are having enough of staying at home. You know, they want to socialize. They want to touch each other. They want to talk face to face with each other. You know, a few days ago I had this scenario of like I wanted to do grocery, and in front of me in the road there were like two people standing, and suddenly one of them said like, well, can you please keep your distance to you know, to me. And I actually thought that she was talking to me, to be honest, because I thought these two people, they do belong together, because they were standing pretty close to each other. When then I realized that she was talking to this guy behind her, and then they really started like picking on each other, like really like that. And I was thinking, I had a smile, because I was thinking like, well, guys, there will come a time where people are going to actually make fun of this sentence. Please, can you keep your distance? It's like not seeing it very hard, not seeing it like so tough this time. Yeah, it might feel dense, and yes, absolutely, but damn. I mean, don't we like to have a look at these things that really matter? Don't we like to have a look at, like, are we really in danger? Or is it just our, I do have the Arabic word, it's our nefs, our ego? Or is it our ego that actually thinks that I'm not getting enough attention right now, I'm not getting enough love right now, I'm not having enough this or enough that? Is it really like that? Or are we just not seeing the opportunities that are actually around us, where we have the big chance to put our focus on? These are the questions that we really need to ask ourselves. And this is like for every human being, not only the 3D collective, it's also for the 4D, 5D, whatever D collective. It does not matter. Guys, these are things that we will never stop evolving from. Never. We will always have connection to these kind of topics. Maybe later on from a different point of view, from a different perspective, of course, because we are evolving. But it is something that we are asked to train. It is something that we are asked to feel into. This belief system. I've been talking to my friend, and I was telling her, you know, like, isn't it actually very funny that without even knowing, we have been actually developing a mindset of, and I mean, guys, really have a look at this, because that's interesting. What a beautiful belief system around us being safe we have been creating subconsciously. Because for fact, and I do really believe that many of you can talk about something like this, stories like that, how often from the first we thought that it will be a freaking tough ride. But what we have been underestimating is that we have been prepared. And what prepared us was the tough phase that we have been going through previously. This is the mountaintop. You know, guys, this is the plateau what I have been talking about. We have been developing, or we have been growing muscles throughout this path, throughout these, what is this ascension to this mountaintop. I mean, like, literally. We should not underestimate this belief system, because sometimes, and this is, I believe what I said about the 555 portal, because sometimes we really miss out these things, these new belief systems that we have been actually simply creating by making the experience of it. Having every time this experience, how tough ever this last thing was, I grew from this. I evolved each and every time. In the first, it felt a little bit like stumbling, but like breaking your leg or like falling down on your knees. But the next times we've been walking this path more confident and more assured. Not from the path, because we didn't know where we are heading towards, but from ourselves. Because it's like, that's very interesting, because I had today a talk to my daughter about she having issues at school, like with mathematics, and that it's like strange that after the exam she understood it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of obvious, because you don't have the anxiety anymore around failing, and that's why you got it. Because you have no resistance. There's no anxiety anymore in regards to fucking it up. Let's put it clearly like that. And that's what we have been developing also. There's a theme. There's always a theme in this. So that's what we have been developing through the previous, I really want to say years. Absolutely. For some people, it is more than 20 or 30 years. So what they want to point out is, remind yourself of that you have actually already been creating this, but sometimes your logic is like, is not there. You have to remind your brain, like, hey, do you see this? There was a guy who was very good in explaining how manifestation works. I do really like his approach. I do really like it. I'm not watching him actually anymore, because I'm like I chose a different path, but he is great anyways, I think his name was Mark. I don't remember. But he was talking about like neurology and like how our brain works. And that what he said was very interesting to me, because he was talking about that these things around affirmations. If, for example, we are talking about like, I am strong, I'm confident, all of this stuff, this. Well, the thing is, your brain needs an evidence for it. Okay? And sometimes your brain does not know what this feeling of confidence is. But what your brain does, and this is very interesting, we got a little help from our brain. This is very interesting. The little help from our brain is that maybe we don't even know what the feeling of self-worth is at the moment, or at a time before. But our brain was always eager to develop a feeling. And this is being happened. My guides, they show me this, like my brain is trying to pick from other different high vibrational or good feelings and replacing it with this. And with the time we are reforming it, we are forming this feeling. We are creating, it's like you're starting with the ground, with the baseline, okay, and then you're putting tones on it or percussions or something like that. You get what I mean? So this is how we are developing feelings. This is how we develop the feeling of love. I mean, I can absolutely say that me, from my point of view, I've been learning a lot around love in the previous 4 years. Absolutely. I I I experienced the first time really how it feels to be loved unconditionally. I mean, like really unconditionally. That is a very precious experience. And this is really, it is first of all a precious experience, and second of all, it is something that this collective and each individual is going to, how do I say this, get used to, because it's a new one. I mean, like, for real, it's a new one. And what we will absolutely need for this is this feeling of self-worth. So we have to teach our brain and telling our brain, you know what's how self-worth, what do you think how self-worth feels? I mean, there's not a general feeling that's called self-worth. And if you talk about self-worth, the other guy in front of you knows absolutely what you're talking about. You have exactly the same feeling. That's not how it works. We are developing our own feelings. We are cooking our own feeling soup. And it is up to us which ingredients we are putting in. This is also around, like, what is love really? This is how we cook this soup. And it is up to us which ingredients we are putting in. So, I would like to close out this. I would say it's some sort of guidance transmission, absolutely, because I really didn't know what I should be talking about. So, but I 17, so it's the right thing. Okay, great. So beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for being here. This was the transmission, and the next video is going to be a guidance reading, which I'm like very much looking forward, to be honest. So I'm wishing you a beautiful start into the new week. Stay grounded, my loves. Namaste.